It is Monday, May 5th. It is day 106 of the Trump presidency, and let's talk about what happened today. I think literally every single one of these headlines begins with Trump. Why am I not surprised? So Trump put out an executive order that's going to place 100% tariffs on foreign movies and movies that are not filmed or produced in the United States. So a lot of people are freaking out about that. I think that's pretty understandable. I think he's like friends with some of the people that he's doing this to. I don't think he cares. I don't think he has friends, but I think some of those people might have been under the impression that this stuff isn't going to affect them. Welcome. It's going to affect everyone. So, cheers. The Trump administration is planning to pay immigrants $1,000 to self-deport, but they won't pay them until they get where they're going and send back proof through this app that they're there. Obviously, people are like, there's no motivation for these people to do this. First of all, how do they know that you're actually going to pay them? Which I'm sure they wouldn't. Second of all, it puts them on a list of people that entered the country illegally, and then I guess you can't try to get back in for 10 years or something. Like, you can't apply for legal citizenship for 10 years after that. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is probably not an idea that's going to work. Anyways, nice try. Netanyahu, sorry, Snacks is standing in front of my notes, so I've got to try to get around her little head. Netanyahu is vowing to relocate Gaza's population. All right, I'm just going to have to bring my notes over here. By the way, I went through an entire notebook already. It's full. And I would love to put this out as like the first 100 days, my notes, and I will consider it, but I just don't know when I'm going to have time to do that or publish it. Anyways, okay, back to this horrible news. Netanyahu is vowing to relocate Gaza's population to the south somewhere so that Israel can expand its war, because it's basically saying they're going to go in, they're going to try to negotiate with Hamas to get the rest of the, not refugees, oh my God, the hostages, thank you, brain, to try to get the rest of the hostages out. And I think even if Hamas gives them the hostages, they're still planning this expansion. So I don't know what motivation Hamas would have to do that. But either way, they basically said that if Hamas won't give them the hostages, they're just going to go in right away. They're not going to try to, I don't know if that means they're not going to like keep this plan to relocate the people that are just like innocent civilians or what, but it's a really horrendous situation. And again, the UN is pushing back against it, but they're also not doing anything. So unless somebody has a plan to actually do something, I think the words that they say are pointless. So Mike Pence is kind of, I'm like, is Mike Pence positioning himself to run against Trump or something? Because he won that award last night. Well, now he's coming out today and saying that tariffs are going to cause a price shock in the United States, and that he believes it will cause America to desire a different approach. Meaning he thinks that people are going to get pissed at Trump, probably, and sick of him as a leader. I would guess so. Interesting, though, that he is coming out and saying this stuff right now. I mean, good for him. I totally agree. I don't want Mike Pence as a president, but honestly, I would absolutely take it right now over the situation we have. He's pretty evangelical, though, and that freaks me out. Like, I don't like that, but I still think he's better as like a person in general than Trump is. It's hard because I feel like I'm comparing like literal shit to like a moldy cheese sandwich, and I feel like both things are pretty disgusting, but you know. Anyways, so Trump is cutting in half all of Harvard's current federal research grants and is disqualifying them from future grants. So obviously Harvard has to know that this is coming. Like I'm sure that they're going to go into some kind of like legal situation with Trump, but I highly doubt that they'll be surprised that Trump is lashing out at them. He pretty much said he was going to. This is really scary, and it's a really big deal. That's probably why people are getting on the news and saying, please don't come here. But Newark lost communication with the aircrafts that they were supposed to be controlling. Like the people that work in air traffic control are on their little, I don't know, communication machines. I don't know if it's like a walkie-talkie. I don't know what they use. I would assume it's something a lot more stable than a walkie-talkie. In any case, they literally lost communication with those planes. And a bunch of these employees were so traumatized by that experience that they took like PTO, like time off. I don't know if they took like a leave of absence or like they're like, maybe we'll come back, maybe we won't. But they're incredibly short-staffed because of this, and the airport's like not functioning. And so they're like coming out and saying like, this is not a safe situation. Very scary, especially because it's one of the busiest airports in the entire country. Okay, so this is probably the top headline of the day, but it's just so idiotic. It makes me so... He's such a fucking, like, stupid cartoon supervillain. So Trump wants to reopen Alcatraz, even though it's crumbling and falling apart, even though it makes millions and millions of dollars in tourism every single year. And, like, it's absolutely, like, in no condition to start, like, housing people there. They would have to spend probably billions of dollars to fix it, to send people there, which they've already spent billions of dollars, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But anyways, he wants to do this. I'm sure his henchmen will love that idea. So, I don't know, man. He's an idiot. Pete Hegseth is planning to slash his way through the senior military ranks. He's just going to like fire a bunch of people. I believe that they're doing that because they want loyalists. Like they want people that will just do whatever they say. They don't want people that actually meant it when they took an oath. And I think that they know because there was, this wasn't in the headlines. There's something about military people like denouncing this administration, like thousands of them, or also maybe like dropping out of the military or something. Something is going on with that. And I'm sure that they know and knew that that was coming on the horizon because obviously people who really believe in the Constitution and people who took an oath to defend the Constitution, no matter against who, and mean that, are going to be freaking out and really scared and upset and angry right now. So if they want to institute some type of weird martial law situation, they need to switch the military around. I don't know where they're going to get replacements though. That's the interesting part. And I also think it's incredibly dangerous for them to be playing these like reindeer games when there's multiple potential nuclear and world war situations just like threatening to erupt right now, but that's a whole other story / situation. This is so... I'm going to tell you anyway. So, okay. Trump came out and said that Catholics loved his AI image of himself as the Pope. It's so embarrassing. Like, I just don't know what to say about this person. It's so embarrassing. Like, he's the most cringe person that has ever lived. Anyways, I'm actually really kind of glad he's saying this stuff. Like, I hope the Catholics who voted for this piece of shit feel like idiots right now. I hope they feel incredibly stupid. Anyways, 20 attorneys generals asked a federal judge to begged is probably more like it, to reverse the cuts that have been made to the Department of Human Health Services because, we're all going to die. because there's like multiple burgeoning pandemics on the horizon right now, and measles is making a comeback, and so is tuberculosis, which is just almost funny. Bring back the plague. That can be his next, when he runs in 2028. That can be his tagline. Bring back the plague, right, Snacks? Thank you. You're cleaning my eyebrows. Thank you. This is actually another huge story today. So the Trump administration and all of their like military officials and everything have been using, after the Signal app controversy, they switched to a copycat of the Signal app that is owned by Israel. I don't even know what it's called. Well, that app got hacked today or yesterday or over the weekend, and probably exposed a bunch more confidential military information to Lord knows who or what. And so anyways, that app suspended its operations today, but it's too late because that already happened. So cheers. This is the last headline tonight. Oh yes, a super short show. The Trump administration has spent $220 billion more in this last 100-day period than the same period of time last year. Yeah, I mean, even like their idea to give immigrants $1,000 if they self-deport, it costs them around $17,000 per person to deport someone. So think about that. And then think about if they start paying people to leave, we're losing the tax dollars those people were paying. We're losing the money they were putting into the economy. I mean, anyways. I am emotionally drained lately by all of this. I think that the wars and the targeting of immigrants and targeting of women and targeting of minorities. Did I tell you that at the boycotts, remember how I said I hadn't heard about any arrests? I'm going to go ahead and take that back. They arrested only a bunch of black people. It sounds like they were literally like scanning the crowds for black people, which is why black people should not go to these protests right now. On TikTok, they're saying black people are not protesting. We're sitting this one out. And then when they do go, they get arrested for just standing there. They're not doing anything differently than what the other people are doing. So, yeah, this is like hell to me. We're traveling back in time at a very rapid pace. And it's just hard to watch. It's hard to be here. It's hard to feel hope. I don't know. I would like to be hopeful. I can go that far. I can say that I am hoping that I can be hopeful again. I'm just not feeling it right now. But anyways, I'm sure it comes and goes. I was, my first, maybe 80 days of the presidency, I just didn't feel as drained. I think they're digging their claws in a little deeper right now. All right, I've got some things to do before bed, but this Monday was maybe less insane than the previous Monday, so we can focus on that. And I don't know, maybe I'll see if I can find some more. I can't say more because I very rarely give you any good news. I will look for good news tomorrow to bring to you. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a good night. I hope you get some rest, and we'll see you tomorrow.